It's good to see everybody this evening. We are very excited that we get to be back Sunday. Big day, huge day, and we're so glad and so thankful that God's blessed us to be at this place and this point. And so we're here this evening to give you some instruction because we will be following guidelines and safety precautions for our coming back to church, and we want to adhere to those things as best as we can. And so if you're listening in, we would like for you to do something, and you get this, pass this along and share it with someone or tell somebody about it to listen, because, you know, we've been announcing this in our services, but some people didn't know about it, or they didn't know we were starting back, and then they didn't know we were going to have certain guidelines. So this is very important because as important it is for us to come back and be a part of this, it's important that we follow these guidelines and do it as best we can, okay? So Pastor Heath is here, and he's going to be sharing with us these guidelines. So everybody listen up and share it with someone.
Very excited, and there's just a few little rules. It's not that big a deal. I mean, if you compare what other countries have to endure to get to church, like in Africa when they have to go miles and miles, or other countries where it's dangerous, or these are very easy things to do, and it's just common courtesy to obey the law. It's something we should do as our witness. So we're going to do that, and we're excited about it. We're excited about having church. Been having church. We are the church. You are the church. But we're excited to get the body back, fellowshipping together in one place as best we can. So I want to go over these rules real quick. And if you have any questions, please reach out. We've been announcing this for a couple of weeks, but we wanted just to put it on here just in this format so everyone could see clearly the procedure for Sunday. Number one, the doors will open at 10:30. Normally the doors are open earlier, and we have a coffee shop, and people kind of meal around and socialize. But this Sunday, the doors will open at 10:30. If you do get here early to get a parking space, that's fine, but stay in your car until it's 10:30. There'll only be one door in, one door out, and there's a reason for that. But I've heard people say, well, why do they do that at these stores? Well, it lets us do a couple things. It lets us, number one, get a count of how many people come in. Because in the state of Virginia, we have to be at 50% of the building's capacity. We will be at 50% of the building's capacity. We'll be taking a count as people come in. Not only that, we've had staff throughout the week and even tonight working on the seating. We've had to take out some of the seats. We've had to move the seats. And we've had to increase distance between rows. We're going to comply with what the law has us to comply with. So we have to keep a count of who comes in. And number two, we're going to have a thermometer, and it's a touchless thermometer, and we're going to have somebody taking temperatures when you come in. That's not required by law, but we're going to go a little bit extra. We want to make sure that we do go above and beyond to make sure that we do what we're supposed to do and that you guys are safe. So we'll be taking temperatures. If you have a temperature, we'll pray for you in the service, but you'll have to leave the building and go either watch at home or watch in your car if you choose to do that. I also remind you, if you have been sick in the last 14 days, probably not a good idea that you come. Please don't come if you're sick. Even if you say, well, I don't think it's COVID. I just have a pneumonia or whooping cough or whatever you have. It's still not a good idea under the circumstances. Just stay at home if you're sick, because we're really going to continue to work on this online service. We think God is really doing something with the online. We're going to continue to focus on the online. Those of you that are home, you'll still be able to comment. You'll still be able to put a prayer request, and we're still going to have interaction. We really think God's up to something. So if you have to stay home, it's okay. Number three, when you come inside, once you're counted and your temperature is taken, if you have children, they will be taken immediately to the children's wing. We're not going to cross-contaminate the buildings. The children will go over to the children's wing. Over there, they will also be complying with a 50% reduction in building capacity. They will also be complying as best you can with kids with a 6-foot rule. They're going to be working on social distancing, and they won't be sharing things like crayons or toys, and any snacks will not be communal. They'll be individual to the person. and our leaders will work hard over there to make sure that we comply with the law there. The nursery facility will be open. As far as if you have a small child that needs attention, you can use the facility, but we won't have nursery attendance because we don't think it's compliant with the law to have workers hold a small child or change a small child or all that. So, but if you need the facilities, they will be available. The adults, when they come in, they will go straight to the sanctuary. Okay, normally we have a lot of people hanging out in the lobby. That's cool. We love that. There's a good vibe, a good energy, greeting people when you come in. But we need that space for a couple reasons. One, we need the social distancing, but two, we need the people at the front to have room to do their job as far as the temperature and the count. And if there's a bunch of noise and there's all kinds of milling around, it'd be hard to keep count. It's hard for me to count anyway. So we want to make sure there's distance. And it also frees up the area in front of the restroom. Yes. So that if somebody does need to use the facilities, I would encourage you. Listen, I'm the world's worst sometimes. If you have to go to the restroom, go to the restroom. But avoid unnecessary trips because of lots of reasons. One, cross-contamination. But two, we don't want like 10 people in the area outside the restroom. It's just too close. So just use common sense. It's no big deal. Just use common sense. But come inside, get seated. If you're in the same family, you can sit together. Okay, if you live together, you can sit together. If you have a spouse or a honey with you, you can hug right up on them. But as far as someone else, we're gonna make sure we have the distancing required by law because we are really excited to be here. We don't want to take advantage of it. There'll be extra sanitizing stations. I'm not going to say what I said Wednesday night. That probably got me in trouble. But we're going to take extra cleaning precautions. The church has already been cleaned very well in preparation, but we're going to continue to do that during the service to make sure we do a good job on that. We're going to encourage masks and also just say we're not going to be having, I know that people say, wow, you're the church. We don't have to hug to love or handshake to love. I believe in hugs and handshakes, and I believe that's going to come back at some point. But as far as this Sunday and until things change, we're going to maintain distance. And if you say, well, I'm not really believing all this virus stuff. I'm not scared and all this. That's fine, but out of respect for other people or respect to the law, yes, we're still going to comply and not go up and hug somebody because you don't know what their views are. And so just keep your social distancing on Sunday. Worship, praise God. We'll see miracles. We'll pray for people, and I believe we'll see salvations, but keep your distance. There'll be a shortened service. We're not going to be buying the Spirit, but we're used to going in places like prisons where we have a preset time, and the Holy Spirit is just as much about that as He is about the days where we can just soak and go all night. Yeah. The Holy Spirit does amazing things. He's a gentleman, and He will work it out. So we are going to shoot for about an hour and a half service. A couple reasons. The biggest reason is those kiddos, if they come at 10:30, will be over there for about 2 hours, and that's just hard on a child, hard on the teachers, hard on the children. We want the children to have a great experience and learn, and we believe they may have salvations over there or at least some miracles over there. So we'll try to start the service right on time. We won't be late. Lord willing, at 11, and we'll try to end at 12:30. I will say the doors will close at 11:10. We have to close the doors at 11:10. Now, if there was some emergency outside that somebody came in and said, I'm ready to give my life to Jesus, somebody come get us, we go out and take care of it, I promise you. But as far as the doors close at 11:10, there's a reason. It's not that we're just tight on time or we're just trying to be strict. But again, it's hard for us to keep the numbers and control who's in here if it doesn't go on. Right, and somebody just made, Pastor Will, I'll give him the credit or blame, whichever one you look at, said, most of us don't go to our job 30 minutes late. Some of them might, I don't know, but most of them try not to. So you just the doors will close at 11:10. Again, that's so we can keep a count of who comes in, and we can make sure the temperatures have been checked of everybody that goes in. Now, one other announcement about that, and this is a tough one for some people, I know. You will not be allowed to leave the facility. You can leave anytime you want, but you can't come back in if you leave after 11:10. And The reason for that is we have to have some control who's coming in and out, or else you could end up with too many people in here, or people with fevers or whatever. So if you smoke, we're not judging you, but the deal is you'll have to smoke before service and after service, because if you leave, you won't be able to come back in, okay? Now, if you're at all sick, or even if you just feel uncomfortable, here, Dad, myself, we're kind of notorious to kind of worry about the flock, and we stand up here and we look around, and we'll say so-and-so's not here, and you'll get a text from Dad or somebody that says, where were you? We're not going to do that as far as we're not going to make you feel bad if you don't feel comfortable being here. Now, if you're not here and not online, you might get a text. I don't know. But, if you don't feel comfortable coming, stay home, participate online, and we'll do just like we've been doing it. If you're elderly or you have an immune compromised condition, whether it be a disease or a side effect of medication, I know some of the rheumatoid arthritis medicines suppress your immune system. Chemotherapy does the same, I think. If you have something like that going on, it's probably not the best idea you come. There's no law that we're going to, kick you out, but use judgment, use common sense. I don't believe that you're a super Christian if you come Sunday, or you're a weak Christian if you don't. God gave us something called a mind and wisdom, and I think he's about you using it. And I won't get into it, but I think you can look at the temptation of Jesus and you can see that. So we're excited. I'm going to turn it back over to my father. Did we leave out anything before I turn it back over as far as the actual announcements for Sunday?
The coffee shop will not be open, so we'll not have any coffee shop, and the foyer will not be open to, like you said, fellowship. There are going to be things done out there, so we need people moving in. And then there'll be the area around the restrooms, like he said, that we need to have that clear. And then we're social distancing, trying to keep distance from other people. So we're not going to be normally fellowshipping like we normally do, even hanging out there on the foyer, outside the foyer in the portico area. We just need to keep our distance from people. And yes. And if you do show up early, just stay in the car, as Pastor he said, until it's time to come in. Okay. I think that's about all of the things.
I guess one other thing. This is probably for ministry team, but I guess guests can too. We don't really preclude anyone. We're believing there's going to be Salvation Sunday. We believe there's people that have been wanting to come that have not been coming, and I think there's going to be excited that churches are open, and we believe in that process. We'll handle those salvations, and we'll take care of that up here. But I would say this: if anyone does come forward, let us designate somebody to pray with that person instead of everybody getting around them, because again, the social distancing, and two, honestly, sometimes it's hard for the person to hear with a lot of stuff going on if they're a new salvation. So we'll take care of that, though. We'll be kind of quarterbacking. We'll have people that will be quarterbacking, working salvations, working
and if it is someone in your family, I guess it'd be okay to come up with that person.
Definitely.
But, as far as just like what we normally do, everybody coming up, we'll be guiding you, I guess, Sunday morning on how we do that.
Yeah, just be good stewards, and God's going to do some amazing things. We're excited.
Yes.
I mean, I don't look at this list as like, oh, dread is me. It's so bad that we have to do all this. I'm like, it's so great we get to have church, and this is all we have to do is just not slobber all over each other and get here early and not go out and that's all we got to do. It's the most awesome thing in the world. We're excited, and we're going to be the church, and we're taking authority over this illness, by the way. Just because we're taking precaution, like wearing a seatbelt, don't mean I'm wanting to go wreck tonight. We're taking precaution, but we're taking authority, and we're praying against this stuff, and we believe this thing's leaving.
Yes. Amen. All right, guys. If you have any questions, again, let us know. And is there anything else, Pastor Will or Lakin?
So that's a good point. We'll try to put a written version of this. I don't know, but we'll put that up on the internet as well, on the Facebook and all that. and we'll try to send out by group text. But again, if you have any questions, you have our numbers, text us, or if you don't have our numbers and you're a guest, use the Facebook app or whatever to get in touch with us, and we'll make sure we get you an answer, okay? And the easiest way is the website, and, you know, if you just Google Lost Creek Ministries, it'll be the first thing that pulls up, click it, and hit contact us.
Yes. And this video will be stored to be shared or viewed again. Pastor Will, this is on. Okay, so you can see it again or recommend somebody else to see it if they didn't hear about all the guidelines, okay? Listen, we're looking forward to Sunday. God bless you. Be safe. Be careful. Love people and love God. And we hope to see you Sunday morning, okay?
Bring some fire.
And bring people.